Hi, I'm Monie Wilder. I'm a top producing realtor in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm going to just get right to it. What's my favorite 8-letter word? Momentum. Let me tell you why. I feel in my experience and with my team and the number of transactions we've done in the past 5 years, which is over 500, that momentum is the single most important tool that we have learned how to utilize in order to get things closed. So why? Well, if you really think about how people operate, they basically coast in whatever direction they're already going. So if you realize that that's generally how most people function, if you can utilize that and realize that that's momentum, it's moving them this way. And as long as I can kind of create that initial push forward and then make sure that they're not encountering too much friction, and in fact, they're experiencing what I like to call green lights. If you're managing those two things well, you all of a sudden will have people just naturally moving towards the goal. So your ability as a real estate professional to create momentum and maintain it is really probably 80% of your job. So that initial excitement, okay, we're going to sell our house, we're going to buy a house, cool. And then you're going to realize that up front there's going to be points of friction. Does their house need to be painted inside? Okay, that would be a friction point, right? That's going to stop their forward movement. If it's a buyer, okay, they need to get pre-qualified. Well, that's a step that could slow down your momentum. So your ability to manage those things and to minimize them is super important. The other part of this is green lights, like I mentioned. So green lights are like a feeling. Momentum is very much a perception. It doesn't necessarily have to be real as long as a seller feels like they're moving forward. So with green lights, you're going to create milestones and you're going to celebrate those milestones. You're going to make sure that you're emphasizing every time we hit a milestone because it's going to make that seller or buyer feel like you're moving forward. And as long as they feel like they're moving forward, it is very rare that they will all of a sudden decide on their own to stop that forward movement. So think about momentum in terms of, okay, my initial push forward, and then how am I going to minimize points of friction? And then lastly, how can I create and celebrate those green lights? I hope this helps.